Good morning and happy Saturday, family and friends. Welcome to another Coffee with Kim. So glad to have you with me. Whether you're catching it live, whether you watch the replay, let me know. Majority of the time, many of you catch the replay. I understand that. I love that. I still get your feedback and I appreciate that. So, either way, just let me know whether you're live, whether you're watching the replay, doesn't matter to me. But hopefully you've all had a fabulous week. It has been gorgeous. We've had, we're in spring. We're hitting spring. We did the spring ahead last weekend. Sounds like we may not have to worry about that again. I know there's been talk and it was through the legislature. I don't want to, tell you officially that we don't have to. I'll have to do research before I say so, but I do believe that's what I heard. That would be fabulous. I got fairly spoiled when I lived in Arizona and did not have to go with the time change. And as I get older, it really affects me. So anyway, we're a week in. Everything's, caught back up. Hopefully you all are caught back up as well. But here we hit now March Madness. Boy, you know what? I can honestly say this is something I do not get into. I do not do the brackets. I am not a big fan, but oh no. All I have seen everywhere and heard about is everybody's brackets blew up. So whatever big upset or upsets there were, sorry for your luck. But for all of you participating, have fun with it. You wait for that time of the year. Let me know who it is that you're hoping to see at the end. But again, I can tell you what that's not for me, but all of you do enjoy. What I do enjoy here, we also have our local state tournaments. So we have the state Bs, the state As, and state double As. Aberdeen, of course, is host to the state Bs. And I do believe the A's are in Rapid this year and the double A's in Sioux Falls. So such fun memories. For me, that is something that was huge for all of us growing up. Such good times heading off to those tournaments every year. Back then, we were fortunate that, majority of the time we qualified. I haven't really kept up. Like I said, I know we had some local teams there. But that's been exciting. I've been watching a couple of the games on TV. I know that at the Barnett Center, even though it wasn't advertised last night, there was a triple overtime and a big win. So championship games are all this evening for those locals, okay? Anyway, let's get into the fun real estate stuff, okay? Rates, guys, like I said, I've been saying for a long time, and it's been happening for a while on a slow volume, but rates are going up. We're now at about a 3.75 up to 4.7, okay? That didn't hit much over 4 not all that long ago. So again, in the scheme of the big picture, these rates are still really good compared to many years ago when we were seeing, above 10 up into the 15s. Even within the last 8 to 10 years, rates were at that 5 to 6 to 7s. Okay. So again, we're still doing really well there, but we are seeing the uptick, which changes your buying power. So if you are thinking about becoming a homeowner, you may want to be a little more serious and focused on it now because they're only going to continue to go up. Everything that I've been reading, everything I've been hearing is they're projecting us to be potentially into the 5s by the end of the year, which isn't all that long from now, but that's a significant difference on how much that affects your monthly payment, okay? Local market data as far as residential properties and commercial buildings, okay? So again, I'm not doing every single property that's out there in our MLS, but we had 10 new, 16 that went pending, 6 that were closed for a total of 92. So again, if you're keeping an eye on numbers, we're still so low on inventory. I will have to get back to you on exactly how many are currently active as far as residential homes. But I had done a search about 3 weeks ago just to see exactly how many were out there that weren't pending, were available options for our current buyers, because we were at 23. Okay. Whoa. That's just not good. Okay. That's giving buyers not a lot to choose from. And not only just to choose from, but that means price range, location, size, condition, etc. I mean, there's just not much out there. And so we are hitting the time of the year where spring tends to bring forward more homes. People get anxious. We're not sitting here just coming out of hibernation from the winter. So we're able to move. We're able to start thinking and start functioning. So good news is, hopefully for the buyers in our market, more abundance shows up in short order form here, okay? For the sellers who are still thinking about it, it's still a seller's market. So if you've been thinking about selling, you're leaving the area, wherever you're heading, reach out. Let's at least get you a comp to show you what your proceeds could be. That may make or break your decision on selling. Okay. Couple things I want to bring forward to you today. This isn't specific. I mean, it is all specific to real estate, of course. But I'm not going to go into something 100%. But so we all know fuel prices have gone up, okay? Really high and really short order form, due to all the inflation and things. So when I'm watching, well, good morning and thank you, Mandy and Teresa. The thing is, with these fuel prices, that's affecting everything. That's how we get all of our product, okay? So whether this is pertaining to flooring, wood, trusses, nails, anything that goes into new homes, okay, new builds, guess what that means? Not only did we already have an influx of prices and a delay on receiving product, this, guys, is going to affect us even more, okay? So not that I discourage somebody from looking at new builds and new construction homes, but know that if that is in your books or you've already started that process, you're probably going to have a little bit of a difference on that budget come the end of the build, okay? So note that right now we are in the middle of, they said 75 cents that fuel, or I should say diesel, had went up within like a week's time. And I just heard this on one of my podcasts that I listen to regularly. And I thought, wow, I mean, no wonder. And that's, per gallon, guys. That's huge when you're getting 500 gallons, to haul this around our country to enable us to have what we want. And good morning, Mom. So keep that in mind, okay? One of the things I'm going to go into comes down to like our energy prices inside the homes. So affected same manner, in a sense. Gas prices have went up, electricity has went up. So I'm going to get into that a little bit more. But before I do that, again, as a real estate market and a realtor that's promoting this, new builds are going to probably go even higher due to what we are experiencing right now with these fuel prices, okay? So keep that in mind. Another interesting thing here. The Federal Reserve has increased their interest rate for the first time since 2018. And this is to try and counter off the inflation that we are experiencing right now, okay? And I'm not the expert on exactly how that works. So if you're curious, I encourage you to look this up on Google because I was pretty astounded. Again, I heard this on a podcast, so I did go and look it up to confirm that it was correct. And it is. And then upon what I heard on the podcast, when I went to do my research, they're saying that this could occur up to 6 more times this year. So everybody is seeing the inflation. And it is causing some issues all around the board, not just in housing, right? We all know this. But the Federal Reserve has decided they needed to step in and try and change this a little bit so it does affect the banking side of things. So in essence, it's supposed to be helping us with the inflation. Goodness, we can only hope that it does. But if you're curious how it works, look that up, okay? In the meantime, because of the energy and gas bills and everything going up, today I am going to come to you with a few things that you can do to have your home a little more prepared. Summertime and or wintertime. We need it. Make sure you have that proper insulation. If you have not looked in your attic, if you have not checked it out, have somebody come. See where you're sitting as far as the levels in there. They do have codes. So if you've recently bought a home, it should be within the codes of your insulation. But I tell you what, if it's been many years since you've looked at it, check it out. Okay. Also, make sure that you are sealing up any areas of draftiness, okay? Now, this can be windows, this can be in the attic, this can be anywhere. But you in the home know best where you're feeling some of those drafts. Nip that right away, okay? Take some time, take a little bit of cost, guys. These are not going to be tremendous costs out of your pocketbook, but it will be a little bit, but I am here to say it's going to gain you that back in the end, okay? So again, make sure you fill in any areas of draftiness. If you have not updated windows, I know that is an overwhelming price all at one time, but start with one or two here and there. Over the course of time, this is going to benefit you tremendously. They're energy efficient. You know, they are making them differently. Many people have single pane. But either way, I'm not going to tell you which ones to go with. But look at getting your windows updated, or some of them. Like I said, it doesn't have to be all at one time. But get those going. You will notice it. Also, if you're not using LED lights inside the home, switch those over to LEDs. Again, guys, they cost a little bit more up front than the typical traditional bulbs, but they're going to benefit you so much longer in the end, okay? This seems like common sense, but anybody with kids, well, and even grown, we'll say grown adult kids, we tend to have the inability to shut off lights all the time behind us, okay? So one of the things during this time when our bills are sky high, and I know for a fact because it happened to me, and I know it happened to you, let me know on here that it did. But my bills were almost doubled from what I had seen, okay? Not quite doubled, but we had a mild winter. So I know this is nationwide, not just Aberdeen. So we're all looking for ways to cut that down. So this is why I'm telling you. But make sure that you as the adults and any kiddos or anybody in that home is turning off lights and electronics that are not being used, okay? Just tips again to help you out. Excuse me. Use your natural lighting if possible, okay? Open up those shades. Allow the sun to come in. Now, wintertime, we may not always want to do that because sometimes keeping them shut also helps conserve it. But we're at that time of year now where we want to take in that outside heat. So allow that natural lighting to work for you. A couple more things. Smart thermostats, okay? That allows you to see wherever you are. You can actually adjust that if you need to throughout the day, etc. But many features are going to the smart features. So once again, a smart thermostat may be an option. Cleaning out and servicing or upgrading your HVAC systems. I encourage that on my Coffee with Kim a couple of times a year. I'm going to bring it up again. Make sure to have those serviced and cleaned. You're going to have a lot more energy efficient flow, airflow, and again, a little more budget friendly for you. And the last thing I'll bring to your attention as to ways to help you with those costs, hot water, okay? You can't avoid it. We don't want to avoid it. But for those of you taking extremely long showers, multiple showers through the day, using really hot water, if you're doing all your laundry in extremely hot water, you may think about taking that down to a setting of warm. That will use less energy all along, okay? So like I said, whether it's showers, laundry, dishes, etc. If you can go ahead and take back the use of that hot water, it's bound to keep a little bit more money in your pocket versus paying off utilities. Okay? So, thanks for tuning in again today. I will be joining you next week. I am always looking for other ideas from you. You know, being in the business, we get so wrapped up in the day-to-day. But what I want to know from you, and have had such fabulous suggestions in the past, is what's on your mind. You know, whether you're a buyer, whether you're a seller, potentially both, let me know what it is you're thinking about. Maybe I haven't answered them, and maybe I haven't touched on something. Please feel free to reach out at any time. That is where I get some fabulous ideas to talk about. Because again, some of this we take for granted because we're in the heat of it every single day. So in the meantime, reach out to me. You can message me on Facebook. You can call me at 228-9623. Otherwise, I'll just continue to bring you fabulous information. So thanks again for joining today, folks. I hope you have a fabulous weekend. We shall see you next Saturday for another Coffee with Kim. Bye-bye for now.